Who did you love? What did you believe?
The first State of Decay game came out all the way back in 2013, and the first time we came across the State of Decay 3 was actually in 2020. However, the franchise is still growing. As State of Decay and the second entry were exclusive on Xbox, the new game also is likely to follow a similar rollout. Additionally, aiming to fix some issues, adding additional quality of life improvements and permanently unlock seasonal content. Right now, it seems like State of Decay 3 is set to be the beginning of a change that Undead Labs has been working on for a long time.
There's way more than I was expecting.
And even if we bought the other survivors just one more day, the sacrifice would be worth it. It would always be worth it. And that helped us find the courage to keep going, to fight on. When we needed it the most. I didn't know you well. But we'll keep your memory alive. Every sacrifice we make matters and will never be forgotten.
It's close. Stay here. Stand guard. On me.
The Dying Light franchise is back too, with a new title called Beast. Though this is basically an expansion that introduces new open world elements, enhanced parkour mechanics, and new enemies, all while retaining the series' signature survival horror gameplay style. Now this time, Kyle must survive against even bigger enemies that were mutated much further. Beast in its entirety promises a bigger and more dynamic world, pushing the survival horror to its limits.
Every man has an animal within. If you push too much, you might unleash the beast. Gotta be ready.
John Carpenter's new project is on the way too. It's a first-person shooter zombie survival game called Toxic Commando. This game's actually back with some huge teams like Focus Home Entertainment and Saber Interactive. Supposedly the first of a series of games that's set in the near future while being inspired by gore, comedy, and action of the 80s horror movies. Here's a trailer. We're still waiting on a precise release date for the game. Projekt Z is another title we've had on our radar for some time now. Recently retitled to Beyond Order and set to arrive on the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and PCs, this game is a first-person zombie shooter too with a robust character progression and weapon customization. It's set around World War II and offers a fast-paced gameplay through many challenging missions in which, as one of 4 survivors, each with a unique ability, you must fight and co-op battles. Check it out. Earlier this year, Capcom confirmed that development is on the way for the next mainline entry of the beloved series as Resident Evil 9. New Resident Evil 9 rumors have also resurfaced again, and apparently the new game will star Leon Kennedy and Jill Valentine as playable protagonists for the very first time in a video game. Barry Burton and Chris Redfield will also return too, and the story will be set roughly 4 years after the events of Resident Evil Village.
Zero.
What?
You wanted to know how many there were?
A few days ago, Showa American Story got a new trailer, setting the stage for its 2025 release. The over-the-top action RPG classic blends 1980s B-movie vibes with anime-inspired combat, unfolding in a world where America has become a Japanese colony. Now, the new trailer over here highlights a towering giraffe-necked boss named Shogun, alongside wild fights against mutated enemies and zombies across iconic locals, like something in the same vein as Tokyo, that's named New Tokyo. Anyway, it's basically Yakuza Dead Souls meet Death Stranding. Coming from the same team who made the famous recent game The First Descendant at number 7, we've got Nakwon. This is a third-person view zombie apocalypse stealth survival game, and what developers promise to let you experience a new form of post-apocalyptic life, offering a survival resource management PvP in which zombies and survivors coexist. Essentially a bit in the same vein as the Walking Dead show, Nakwon Last Paradise is coming to PCs exclusively early next year.
True art in this forsaken world.
Let us not forget the sacrilege that has been committed against our nation.
Coming in at number 8, we have Beyond Hanwell, taking players into a twisted open-world environment brimming with paranormal horrors. Your job in this game is to explore a sinister town called Hanwell, solve complex puzzles, and survive against supernatural entities. This game combines exploration, horror, and survival mechanics, creating a deeply immersive experience. Here's a new trailer. The game is coming out to PCs and consoles November 28. At number 9, God Save Birmingham is an upcoming medieval zombie survival game set in this historically accurate 14th century Birmingham. Slated for a 2025 release, this game challenges players to survive a brutal plague by scavenging, crafting, and mastering physics. With a pretty unique premise, God Save Birmingham stands out in the survival genre, blending historical detail and horror for a distinct medieval experience that should captivate fans of both action and simulation games. Have you ever wondered what a mashup of the Dying Light series and Call of Duty Zombies might look like? Well, you're looking at it. The Midnight Walkers is a survival zombie shooter set to release in the first quarter of 2025. This action first-person shooter has you navigating haunted streets and solving puzzles, so get ready for a mix of adventure and horror that will keep you on the edge of your seat, possibly. Today we've got a new trailer for the game too, and this is how it looks. Hmm.
现在这里就像地狱一样，到处是携带病毒的变异者，他们攻击性很强，非常危险。
On the other hand, Killing Antidote is a third-person shooter with survival horror elements. Slated for an early access release in 2025, this game is heavily inspired by the Resident Evil series as well, in which players control a journalist navigating a world ravaged by a pathogen that mutates humans into monsters. Well, the gameplay combines combat, stealth, and puzzle solving with a unique feature allowing appearance customization. The game also includes a roguelike mode with procedurally generated locations. Coming in at number 12, we have Our Darkest Days. This is the latest entry in the Into the Dead franchise, set to release on PCs in 2025. See, Darkest Days is a shift from the franchise's traditional first-person shooter roots into a 2.5-dimensional side-scrolling survival experience. Set in Texas in 1980s, players guide a group of survivors in the game through Walton City, which has fallen to a zombie outbreak. It now emphasizes scavenging, crafting, and managing the psychological and physical needs of the survivors, with permadeath mechanics that add high stakes to the gameplay. Now, for those of you who missed it, I've mentioned it before, Tormented Souls 2 is one of our most anticipated games in the list. It is a love letter to classic survival horror games, drawing inspiration from early Resident Evil and Silent Hill games. In a creepy abandoned hospital that was once a mansion, you control Carolyn as she searches for her missing girls while solving puzzles and fending off enemies. The game features a fixed camera and limited resources, enhancing the tension. While, as it's rumored, the combat and movement could feel a little bit clunky like the first game, the atmosphere and well-crafted puzzles will definitely make it an engaging throwback. Announced a couple of weeks ago on IGN, at number 14 we have an asymmetric co-op PvE multiplayer survival horror game called Whisper Mountain Outbreak. It's 1998 and an ancient curse has been unleashed, trapping everyone in a small town. This village is now covered with a fog and people have started hearing whispers and seeing monsters. A Whisper Mountain Outbreak here is made in a 2.5-dimensional style. There's also a free playable demo on Steam, you can try it right now. And finally, we're rounding our list today with Forgotten Memories Remastered. If you're a fan of old school scares but crave modern polish, Forgotten Memories Remastered is perfect. Well, this version actually amps up the tension with amazing new graphics, improved lighting, and smoother gameplay. Plus, Halloween-themed updates and DLC keep things feeling pretty fresh and spooky. Offering a creepy atmosphere, solid storytelling, constantly testing your nerves, Forgotten Memories Remastered is absolutely worth diving into.